The following is a presentation of the Nerd Complex Podcast Network.
You are listening to Audio Suplex Live.
Joe, can we open it with a shot of Corey, who's can't even be bothered to be paying attention right now? He's on his phone.
I got an update about a new episode of Audio Suplex Live going live right now.
Really?
Yep. That's what I'm looking at. See, look.
That sounds like
I'm
something.
watching us right now. That's us. Picture in picture.
That seems like something I would tune into. Just couple.
You're not tuned in, I am.
Couple of blokes talking about wrestling. So
exciting.
We're back. I feel like it's been forever since I've been in the studio because
Where were you?
We had last week off because we decided that we collectively just needed a week off to kind of recharge our batteries, which I want to talk about. I want to find out what everybody did on their weekend off.
Oh God, I don't remember a week ago.
You probably barely remembered 15 minutes ago. So we had last week off because we just kind of decided that because of schedules and because we've been working so hard tirelessly to bring you guys really good content that we just wanted to take a week off. And then the week before that, I was actually
it was the highest rating show we've ever done.
Do you have the numbers on that? Do you have the analytics?
Yeah, the 100 compared to 2.
Huh. Unbelievable.
I don't know what that means, but
yeah.
We won, whoever we are, me and Ajax.
But he's implying because of that I wasn't on the episode that it was the highest rated episode. But I am happy to report that my fantasy football team, the South Jersey Bruiserweights, are currently 1-0 and posted the highest score of week 1. So we're rolling into week 2. The Bruiserweights looking to...
Do you have a custom logo?
I do not, actually.
You're the worst type of fantasy football player.
I was actually thinking about reaching out to former guest and friend of the show, Eric Eminon.
Oh,
he does custom
sweet.
fantasy football logos. Maybe get like a nice Bruiserweight. Right now, my avatar is literally just Pete Dunne with the belt hanging out of his mouth, doing like the punchy.
Very typical of you.
I'm sorry, man.
Fanboy.
Pete Dunne, Mark. What are you gonna do?
Oh, hi, Mark.
Yeah. So we're back in action this week. We got Corey, we got myself, and we got a special guest joining us in the studio today, Mr. NOW Heavyweight Champion and VCW Tag Team Champion.
He does it all.
Colt Daniels. Colt, how you feeling, man?
How you guys doing today?
We're good, man. It's been a long time coming. We've been talking about getting you into the studio. I feel like for probably about maybe like a month and a half now, if not a little longer.
About a month and a half from now.
Yeah, so we're finally glad to have you joining us today. But yeah, so we're gonna take some time a little later on to talk to Colt about his professional wrestling career. We're gonna talk about NOW, some of the cool stuff coming up with that, and then just some of your other travels. I know you guys have been working with like VCW and a couple other promotions around as well. So we'll get into that a little bit. But yeah.
But first,
do we have news? do the news drop anyway because I haven't heard it in a while.
We'll try to fill in. It's the news.
The only reason I wanted the news drop this week is because I wanted to hear Corey say that. It's been so long since I've heard Corey say that it's the news.
It's the news.
This week.
So the Mae Young Classic concluded this week.
Yes.
Well, last week. Because
yes.
Today's Sunday. It's a new week.
Yes. And
what happened?
If you haven't watched the rest of the Mae Young Classic yet, you might want to go fix yourself a sandwich or something like that because we're going to do a couple little spoilers here. But yeah, Kairi Sane, the inaugural winner of the Mae Young Classic.
More like Kairi Insane. Am I right?
Which is funny because that's kind of what they're... So when they first signed her, I know there was like a big hullabaloo about whether or not they were going to let her actually use the elbow drop because at that time, Bayley was using it as her finisher on Raw, and there was like this big like, oh, well, will they actually let her use the elbow drop or not? Because she does, hands down, have the best elbow drop in the business.
It looks very
it's
vicious.
Insane. Well, and that's actually what they've... So she's used it as her finisher in every one of her matches in the Mae Young Classic. And I don't know if it's by design of JR or if it's WWE branding, but they've been kind of like pushing it, calling it the Insane Elbow, which goes with her character name now that she's in WWE and no longer Kairi Hojo. So
maybe she's going to join Sanity because she's so sane.
Maybe she like balances them out. She's kind of like the yin to their yang a little bit. So complete side note. Does anybody, have you been keeping up on NXT at all, Colt?
I actually...
A little closer to the mic there, friend. Yeah.
I caught last week's episode.
Yeah.
If you guys saw the main event, Pete Dunne versus Wolfgang.
Fantastic.
Title.
Yeah.
One of the greatest matches I've seen.
Yeah.
in NXT so far. I'm actually liking what they're doing with Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish, and stuff like that. It might be leading to Trent Seven, Tyler Bate, and Pete Dunne versus.
That's actually what
them.
I'm kind of getting at. I like where I feel like NXT is, and this might be a bit like overzealous of me thinking this, but I feel like they're trying to mimic the popularity of how New Japan Pro Wrestling does their like faction system, where you have Chaos, you have Suzuki-gun, you have Bullet Club, you have Los Ingobernables, which is where I
think they should all
put my
do that.
allegiances.
I think WWE should do that in the main roster.
I think NXT is testing out this whole faction thing. So you have Sanity, and now you have Pete Dunne linking back up with Tyler Bate and Trent Seven to do British Strong Style, and then you have this new faction with
what's their name?
The Undisputed
Era,
which is kind of not great as a name for a faction, but we'll
What's
see.
What's their logo? Isn't it?
It says CFO, which is really weird because that would be a great name for that.
CFO.
Yeah, call them CFO, and then actually have the CFOs come out and do their entrance theme live.
Perfect.
Yeah.
What does CFO stand for?
It's Cole Fish O'Reilly.
No. But the real isn't
Chief
CFO.
Financial Officer.
So then you have the Chief Financial Officer of the WWE come out and accompany them to the ring as well,
Which would be
as their
Triple H.
manager.
No, it would be Vince.
Sure, Vince is their manager.
Well, I think he's a little preoccupied right now, getting headbutted into oblivion by Kevin Owens.
That was insane,
dude. So like main roster television this week has been absolutely insane. We had that whole bit with Brock Lesnar and Braun Strowman, which is going to make Braun Strowman look like he already looks like $1 million as it is anyway. But no selling that German suplex may have been the greatest thing I have seen in quite some time.
No Mercy is going to be insane.
No Mercy is going to be
insane.
Which I'm fully looking forward to that preview show next week. So, yeah,
I thought the pay-per-view was today.
according to the pre-show stopper Sean McMahon, hopefully he's listening. Apparently the pre-show No Mercy was today. So, but back to the Mae Young Classic. So, the finals of the Mae Young Classic were this past Tuesday. Kairi Sane versus Shayna Baszler. Pretty decent match. The presentation of the finals is kind of weird because it was like only one match, and like the way that they present these things, like the Cruiserweight Classic and the Mae Young Classic, is they're presenting them more of like genuine sporting competitions. And generally, when you would have like a finals like that, like a big money fight, like we had with Mayweather McGregor, you would have at least one or two undercard matches to kind of get the fans into it. And it was really weird the way they did it because they had like a 6-woman tag match after Raw on Monday. And then Tuesday was the final to the Mae Young, and then they had the just the one match on the card. Why couldn't they have just had that 6-woman match on Tuesday in advance of the final match of the tournament? It was kind of like a weird presentation thing that I thought
I don't know.
They could have probably just done it all either on Monday and then put the tag match.
So did they do it in front of the SmackDown crowd?
Yeah, so it was actually in Las Vegas.
So I think they probably did that because more people were in the Raw crowd. So they're like,
well, no, the 6-woman tag match was actually filmed before Full Sail. So they just put it on the network afterwards. It was kind of weird. I don't know. I would have personally liked to see like at least one undercard match to kind of kill some of that time, but they did a good job filling the time. They
maybe they were worried about. Did they still do 205 Live after SmackDown?
They did.
So was it SmackDown 205 Live then the
No, it was SmackDown, the final of the Mae Young, which is about 30 minutes, and then 205 Live after that.
So 205 got pushed back. So they were probably worried about those fans dipping.
Yeah.
So they're like, let's just do one match,
get it out of here, and then
get it done with. Like, because there's people leaving already when it's just 205 Live.
Which God bless that Las Vegas crowd. Like, I thought they did a really good job. Because, you know how sometimes, like, when you get to, like, 205 Live, the crowd can kind of get out of it a little bit. And they kind of...
It seems like almost every week.
Yeah, they get kind of, like, indignant towards, like, the actual in-ring performance that's going on. I was worried about that with the final of the Mae Young Classic being in front of that crowd. But I think the crowd was genuinely into it. I think Kairi Sane is going to be absolute cash for WWE. They have an absolute bona fide babyface superstar on their hands that they could do 1,000 things with.
Absolutely, and rumor has it pirates are going to be in 2018.
Yeah, so that actually works
she's
out.
ahead of the curve.
That actually works out perfectly. So, but yeah, so she ends up winning, and then it was actually announced. I don't know if it was announced on Tuesday or shortly thereafter that because of her winning the Mae Young Classic, she will actually be in I believe it's a Fatal 4-Way they announced for the next NXT takeover for the now vacated women's title. There are some NXT spoilers.
Is it an elimination Fatal 4-Way?
I'm not sure.
Because the word fatal doesn't tell me enough information.
Yeah, apparently.
From what I'm hearing, I think it's just going to be just straight to the death finish. Whoever
Just
wins.
the death.
To the death.
Well, you hear fatal, so yeah.
Yeah, so
It's going to be straightforward. All of them are going to die except for one. So.
Whatever woman is left alive will be the winner. It's going to be Liv Morgan. She's going to... Mrs. Tyler Bate, as Twitter would imply.
She's married to Tyler Bate.
No, but they've been seen on Twitter canoodling. They've been interacting.
They're from opposite sides of the planet.
One's from New Jersey.
Have a British
one's
accent.
from New Jersey. One's from Old Jersey.
Isn't one of... Who's from New Jersey?
Liv Morgan.
Isn't she Australian?
Nope, you're thinking of Billy Kay and or
Liv
Peyton
Morgan.
Royce.
She's better looking.
Yeah,
she's blonde, right?
You only live once.
Yeah,
she's got the greatest entrance theme on NXT, by the way, because it's
YOLO.
Like, yo, 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 yo. It's the greatest thing ever. I love it. It gets me hype. Anyway, so yeah, so that was the Mae Young Classic. I'm super stoked. Like there was a lot of good, like just really great matches that came out of this, and then the fact that a lot of these women are already signed and or are already developmental talent. WWE's like got a really good roster of like up and coming women's wrestlers that are going to be bona fide stars. Like Bianca Belair is going to be an absolute star, and she's a product of the Performance Center. Like she would no wrestling background before starting at the Performance Center, and she is going to be a bona fide star.
Wow,
she's going to be huge. Yeah, fantastic. So if you guys haven't watched the rest of the Mae Young Classic, go back.
Sorry that we spoiled it.
Go back and check it out. The entire tournament's definitely worth checking out. I would almost probably say that it was better than the Cruiserweight Classic.
Wow.
And that's saying a lot because I loved the Cruiserweight.
What about the UK tournament?
The UK tournament introduced the WWE audience to Pete Dunne.
Nothing's better. That's better than every WrestleMania there's ever been.
That's like WrestleMania to me. Like that's fantastic.
Nice.
I think with like all the tournaments that the WWE's done, honestly, for me, it goes the UK tournament, the Cruiserweight Classic, and then the Mae Young Classic. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed the Mae Young Classic, but
that's fair.
I think some of the bracketology, the bookings of that kind of like killed it for me. Like seeing like the very first match, Kairi Sane versus Tessa Blanchard.
Yeah,
I actually thought that was gonna be like a semifinal match, or at least in the finals.
I kind of like the fact that they gave you some really big matches right out of the gate. Like, because it tells you right there that you're going to see some upsets. Like, you're going to see some would-be favorites getting eliminated in the first or second round. So I'm a little shocked that they actually ended up going with Kairi Sane to win the whole thing. As soon as I saw Shayna Baszler and like saw her trajectory through the bracket, I was like, yeah, she's going to win it, because they want that legitimacy, that MMA money. They want those MMA fans to come in and invest themselves into the product. Why do you think they brought out?
I think they're going for the pirate fans.
You think so?
I mean, they got me. I'm hooked. I own every Pirates movie either on Blu-ray or DVD,
including the VeggieTales ones, or
is it? No, not that one.
There's like a couple.
Talking about the Pirates of the
Caribbean.
Caribbean.
Yes, Caribbean or Caribbean.
It depends on if you're talking about the movie or you're talking about the part of the world.
Really?
I say Pirates of the Caribbean, Pirates of the Caribbean, but if I were to be talking about the Caribbean area, I would say Caribbean. I say it two different ways depending on what I'm talking about.
That's weird.
What do you say?
Caribbean.
Caribbean. So if you were talking about that part of the world, was it?
Yeah, I can go into the Caribbean.
You would say Caribbean. You wouldn't say Caribbean.
I don't know.
Because it's Caribbean. It absolutely is.
That's so weird.
But everyone says Pirates of the Caribbean because
I'm entirely too sleepy for this conversation right now.
I could be wrong. I could be wrong. What am I talking about?
That's weird.
I just like pirates. What can I say?
Yeah, so that was the other thing that I wanted to talk about, was that so now that we're kind of talking about NXT a little bit, they've formally announced, I guess, it hasn't been said on TV yet, but that the Fish, Cole, and O'Reilly
Bang.
faction is going to be called the Undisputed Era. They released a T-shirt on WWE Shop. And I think that may be one of the first times in recent history that somebody got merch before even having a proper match on television.
Baby.
Baby.
Yeah, I would believe so.
I think Shinsuke Nakamura maybe got a shirt before he was on TV, but I'm not. Don't quote me on that.
I learned today that Jinder Mahal was the first ever WWE champion to not have any merch
before
winning the belt.
That's insane. The
They're
fact
like,
that he's
crap.
still the champion at this point is just.
I think his days are numbered here.
You think it's going to happen in the D?
I think so.
At Hell in a Cell. Have they announced that that's going to be in a cell yet or not?
They have said not in a cell. It's going to be Kevin Owens and Shane in the cell.
That's going to be insane.
There's actually rumors that there's going to be a rematch between the Usos and a New Day in the first
the
ever
cell.
Tag team
Hell
Hell in a
in a
Cell
Cell match.
wouldn't shock me.
Yeah.
That feud has been absolutely phenomenal, by the way. That feud's been just gangbusters. So good.
Yeah. Are we done with this subject?
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't really like a proper news segment this week.
I feel like I have one more bit of news. Tomorrow.
Oh, are we announcing?
I figure we can talk about it earlier in the episode in case someone doesn't make it.
Oh,
to
we're
the
gonna
end.
drive this point into the ground,
And then at the end of the episode, we'll mention it again.
and probably in the middle as well.
We might.
Because if there's one thing we're good at besides talking wrestling, it's shameless self-promoting.
We're not that good at it. Clearly, we would be better promoted.
So what's going on tomorrow night, Corey?
So tomorrow night at the Beer Stube, which is a local bar here in Toledo. Not that we're in Toledo right this second, but Toledo, Ohio. There's a bar. It's called the Beer Stube. It's on Monroe Street, 5333 Monroe Street to be exact. We're hosting Monday Night Raw. So me and Travis and another friend of ours, Justin, are going to host Monday Night Raw. We're going to do wrestling trivia. We're going to give away some certificates to get free booze and stuff at the bar.
Third place will get a Audio Suplex Live sticker.
I will be signing autographs for $10 a piece.
Yes. Yes. Which is
Bring your own marker because I don't have one.
Yeah.
And I'll sign whatever you want.
Yeah.
So
Children. Chests.
no children allowed.
I don't think your
after-
fiance would be down with you signing people's chests either.
I mean, probably not.
Clarify that.
So it starts at 8 o'clock. That's when Monday Night Raw starts. You can show up early, obviously. There's some drink specials. We got a shot list.
Oh, yeah.
With a bunch of wrestling-themed shots that John gave us. John Toth?
Toth?
I think, John. Thanks,
Shouts out,
John,
by the way.
if you're watching.
Appreciate it.
We used all of your shots. We didn't change anything or add anything. So, John came up with our shot list. They're all wrestling themed. Those will be available at a special price.
I cannot wait to get my hands on the Yes, Yes, Yes.
I'm going to try them all.
Which is, hold on, I have to look up what the exact ingredient list in that one is.
Well, while you're doing that, I'm going to continue talking. We're going to have a food special. I don't know what that is yet. I talked with Dave, who's working the kitchen that night. He's also a wrestling fan, so I'm working with him to get a special food special, like a burger or pizza or something, wrestling themed. So come out, trivia. You can win. We're giving away $60 in prizes. Technically more for giving out some of our merch, but check it out. 8 to 11 food specials, drink specials, $2 Labatt cans, $5 beer flights.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great.
It's going to be a good time. And free bacon on any food order that
If you
want.
order anything, you can add bacon to it, and it will not cost you a dime. So
That's
if you want
insane.
French fries with bacon on it, you got it. We're not going to charge you.
If you want whatever our food special is with bacon on it.
If it already comes with bacon on it, and you want more bacon on it, you can add an order of bacon for free.
For free.
For free.
Unbelievable. Yeah, so the Yes, Yes, Yes is going to be peach vodka, orange vodka, and vanilla vodka. So,
Yes, yes, yes.
AKA Travis is going to be laying on the floor.
You don't have
By
Travis.
11
You probably
o'clock.
shouldn't do all of those, but
No,
I can
I'm
handle.
not going to do all of those. That's insane. I have to be up early on Tuesday. So
If you want to check out a list of those shots, they're on our Facebook
Facebook.
page, which you're probably on right now. So just scroll down a little bit, and you'll see it.
after the show's over, though, because we have a very important episode today.
That's right. All right, so I think that's all the plugging we need to do about that right now. Travis, why are we here? I know we already mentioned our guest here. Let's get it started. Let's get it started. What do you want to do?
So we instead of taking a second week off, we decided it would be much more behooving of us to get a guest in the studio this week. This is NOW champion Colt Daniels. If you guys are familiar with Audio Suplex Live, you are familiar with our close and personal relationship. Some would even say intimate relationship with Northwest Ohio Wrestling.
Very intimate.
Very intimate. Like, we've been known to be quite intimate with our friends at Northwest Ohio Wrestling. But yeah, I think we've had, JJ Casillo and Chris Chambers on the show. We've had Alex Jordan and the Natural Aces, but we have yet to have NOW champion Colt Daniels on the show.
My mouth has been watering to get the NOW champion.
After a week off, I figured it's time that we rectify that situation and bring him onto the show right here. So welcome to the show, Colt Daniels.
It's an honor to be here, guys, and it was well overdue.
Yes, most certainly. So let's talk about NOW. We were talking about this a little bit before we went on the air. NOW's been around since 2015. You've obviously been kind of involved, since like the word go. Let's talk about your start in professional wrestling and then how that kind of evolved into what NOW is, how it started, and where it is now.
All right. Well, to get everybody started on the journey of what I've been doing with wrestling, it started when I was 16 in high school. I got my first start at the Glass City Professional Wrestling Academy for about a month and a half. I was training, and then I was like, I had to make a decision whether either to drop out of high school and pursue the dream or have a backup option for that. So I decided to play it safe, take the backup option, finish out through high school, and then continue that dream after, where I got my start with another company in Toledo, Ohio, by World Big Time Wrestling, WPW, where I met up with Chris Chambers, who trained me for a good number of time. Had a couple matches there, a battle royal, and then my debut match, singles match, a squash match, of course. Got to get somewhere in the business.
Where you went over immediately and like just squashed the other guy.
Oh no, it was me.
No. I was implying that you got the Bill Goldberg treatment and started squashing people right out the gate.
No. I don't think I was that honored yet. But after there for about a good 9 months, almost a whole year, ended up leaving there. Had a fallout with the owner of the company. Not going to get into details on that. Got around, linked up with my brother Robert, and we sat around with a bunch of the guys from the neighborhood, and we were like, you know what, let's get our own wrestling company going. Let's do Northwest Ohio Wrestling. And at the whole start of it, it was just a joke. We were just joking around, being a bunch of knuckleheads from the neighborhood. We were like,
dream big.
Let's actually do the damn thing. And now and behold, 3 years later, our 3-year anniversary will be October 14th.
Which is another thing we're
at the Belief. Are we at the Belief Center then?
Yes, we are at the Belief Center.
Okay. So we have been advertising that it's in Rossford. Due to unforeseen circumstances, it has moved to the Belief Center, which is like the home of NOW.
Spiritual home of NOW.
Yes.
So all of the stuff we've been saying before, Belief Center, you know where it is.
Yes.
That's where we're going.
So
continue. I'm sorry.
NOW coming up on their 3rd year. Did you ever think that when NOW started that you guys would be to the point where we've now seen Tommaso Ciampa and your Dave Chris and your Abyss and Michael Elgin, and then even just like the homegrown talent with yourself and Johnny Carassi and the Natural Aces and Alex Jordan? Do you ever think like that when you guys were just a couple of knuckleheads, in the neighborhood, that you would be to the point where it is now?
Honestly, no, because the thing is, like, we've had a lot of people tell us that we have no idea what we're doing. Running a business is 10 times harder than what it actually seems it is, and we've learned that firsthand. But, we put all of our hard work and effort into this, and we made it bloom to what it is. Like I said, 3 years strong. I'm happy about that. And, like, on our very first show, we had, I think, from what the numbers showed, I think about, like, 500 people on our very first show. And the main event match was M-Dog 20 Matt Cross taking on Trey Miguel, which also highlighted Silas Young was in town as well. So we had him a part of the show as well, and just from there, it just exploded and just went big time. And it's one of the greatest things ever.
That's awesome. We got to give a quick shout out to Trigger Trey Miguel defending the Rockstar Pro title, I believe. You may have heard of him.
I'm just kidding.
He's defending the Rockstar Pro title in Mexico, I believe, this weekend. He's got a couple of bookings down there, so thus making it a world title at this point. So
wow,
so pretty good.
When are you defending that in another country?
Whenever it happens, I'm down. I'm game.
Do you have a passport?
No.
Then you're not 100% game. So I suggest you apply now. So in about 7 months, when you maybe get it,
I actually
you'll be able to
get on that. I have to get my passport in order. So But anyway,
Are you leaving the country,
I am.
Travis?
I'm
Bud?
planning on a international excursion for my birthday.
You going to the Caribbean?
I'm not going to the Caribbean. No, I'm actually I'm in the pre-planning stages of trying to plan not for my next upcoming birthday in 2018, but my birthday in 2019. I'm trying to go to Japan for 'cause my birthday is January 4th, which also happens to be the same day of Wrestle Kingdom every year. So I want to celebrate my birthday at the Tokyo Dome.
So I have a
Checking out
interesting question. Maybe
if you guys want to GoFundMe.com/ send Travis to Japan. I might do some content for the show. Who knows? Maybe.
I would hope so. All right. So I have a question. The way New Japan does their contracts, they sign you from January 1st to January 1st. You have like a 1 year, and they always expire on January 1st. Why would they have their biggest show 4 days after a lot of people's contracts expire? I know a lot of them sign like, okay, well, I'll work the extra dates, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But why would you risk that? Why wouldn't you have your contract expire on like the 5th, the day after?
I think it's because, and I think it kind of ties into Japanese culture a little bit, where respect and, doing the right thing by the company that you're working for or had worked for means a lot there. So, and I can't speak for it, personally, because it all depends on who it is. But like a person like an AJ Styles, where he knows he's going to go to WWE, he will make sure that he stays for a couple extra dates after his contract is up and finishes up any loose ends that he needs to finish up there before he leaves. So, I don't know. I personally don't know exactly why they do it that way, but it really hasn't ever served to their detriment before, as far as my knowledge goes. But
it's gonna affect him this year.
You think so? You think Kenny Omega's gonna
maybe
fly the coop? I don't think he ever will.
Oh, I think he will.
No,
I don't think
he's not.
He would not do Wrestle Kingdom. He would definitely work the extra dates. But
well, he's. I don't think he's ever coming to WWE.
No, honestly, I believe Kenny Omega is one of those guys who does not need to go to the WWE.
No, he'll be fine. He's fine right where he's at, being like the best wrestler to not be signed to WWE, and it works perfect for him. So, but we're not here to talk about Kenny Omega.
Think of all the fans.
We're here to talk about Colt Daniels.
You're right. The next Kenny Omega, Colt
Daniels. So we
that boat yet.
I did say to my roommate last night. It's like I just want to be as good at something in life as Kenny Omega is at pro wrestling. Like one day, man.
Wow.
Whether
you should put that on a meme and hang it on your wall.
I think I did actually tweet that once, or retweet it, or sold that joke from somebody. Since I'm like a king of like stealing jokes, apparently, according to
everyone.
Ajax.
If you just do a little research, everything Travis says is
Oh yeah. There's nothing original about me, dude. I'm just like a amalgamation of everybody else's gimmick. So it's whatever.
Travis is the first guy to ever like the Eagles.
That's since 1933, I've been a Philadelphia Eagles fan. So there you go. So anyway, so NOW 3 years strong now. We got the anniversary show coming up October 14th. It's going to be at the home of NOW, essentially the Belief Center. You, I believe, are going to be signed for a match defending the title against Jack Price, if I'm not mistaken.
Actually, no. It was actually just breaking news per Robert Lopez.
Oh, no.
Here we go.
That I will be defending my title in a 6-way Glass City Warfare match.
Holy cow.
Okay. A lot to unpack here before we get to who's in this match.
Sounds like we're going to have fun.
What is a Glass City Warfare match?
Basically, the title is obviously going to be defended. 6 men are going to enter. At a timed interval, another superstar is going to enter the ring. At any point in time, eliminations can happen, and anything goes.
So basically, last man standing. So it's almost like a Royal Rumble.
There's 6 total guys in the match, so 2 guys start.
Yes.
You slowly enter another guy, and then elimination.
So one would think that
it's kind of like elimination
has the advantage.
Elimination chamber without the chamber.
Yeah,
but
chambers are expensive.
Well, yeah.
But from what I've heard, is the deck is going to be stacked against me. Is from what I've been hearing from the main offices, they want to test me for everything I've done, and I'm going to be starting the match at number 1.
Well, of course you are. You're the champion, though, and you're a fighting champion.
Of course.
Even though on commentary, I have had a few salacious things to say about you and your position in the company, and that's obviously going into the storytelling elements of what's going on in NOW. But give us a little bit of background on that, because you've been working as the heel champion,
the main heel on the
for quite some time now. It feels like probably like what, 6 months now, maybe a little longer.
About 6 months, almost 7 months now.
Yeah. So let's talk about the decision to make that move, and then how that kind of ties into where the story is caught up with us to where we're going at now, going into this Glass City Warfare, was it?
Yes, Glass
City
City
Warfare
Wow.
6-way match.
Yes. So what was going through my mind as for the decision to make the jump was, like for the longest time, like everybody's seen it that I would always have these big matches, but I wasn't able to pull the trigger. And this stems all the way back to the start of NOW around, I would say, after the very first show. I was in a Fatal 4-Way match with Tyson Dukes, Madness of Trip, Renzo Lavelle, and myself to find out who would face who became the former champion at the time, Brandon McGregor, for the title at the first show of the new year. That's when I still had my feud with Dante the Black Angel, who I beat numerous times and would still do to this day. I'm his kryptonite and whatever.
I'm pretty sure, doesn't everyone beat Dante the Black Angel?
If there's anybody that I've buried on commentary more than you, it's Dante. It's just,
Well, I'm honored that I get buried on commentary. At least
hey,
it's
man.
something better than that.
You're doing your job right.
I know, right? But so Dante ended up coming out, putting me through a table, and that set up us for what was supposed to be a tables match at the first show of the new year at Countdown of the Champions. But then we upped the stakes a little bit more, and we said, you know what? Screw a table. Anarchy rules. We got all over, at the time we were at a karate academy, where I even went through my own merch table, which was pretty cool. I got put through my own merch table, so I told everybody, hey, shirts discounted, my own merch table, so they're on sale.
Yeah, we're familiar with having our merch table destroyed.
Pretty standard now.
As it actually, who was I talking to? Oh, I was talking to Alex Jordan actually about that. He said something about like, sorry about murdering your merch table. I'm like, no, dude, do it every show if you have to. That just gives us a chance to talk about our merch.
No. I mean,
Shameless plug.
So on the commentary, I actually literally said like, oh my God, he just smacked him right into the Audio Suplex Live t-shirt available for $15. Like, anyway. Told you, dude. It's shameless self-promotion. But anyway.
Nothing wrong with that, but still, before that, about the Christmas party, am I still not invited for that?
sorry, unfortunately.
Yeah,
you're not
we're-
Give me that
invited.
one slide.
Corey and I are
Sorry.
still working on the final guest list for the ASL
Yeah,
Christmas
if
party.
we have a couple cancels, maybe.
You gotta have the NOW champ.
It's actually okay. You're invited.
Well,
it's
you have
actually
to-
tomorrow night.
you have
Our
to sneak
Christmas
your-
party is a little early. We're doing it tomorrow night,
8 p.m. at
8
the
p.m.
Beer
at the Beer
Stube.
Stube. So everyone, if you're listening, you're invited. I'll pay your cover to get in. Don't worry.
Corey's
There
got
is
you.
no cover.
You got
so
that ASL money.
I got you.
You have to actually. We'll invite the champion to the Christmas party, but you actually have to defend that
You
belt
better-
all the way through Christmas.
Yeah, you better hope you still have it.
You got 6 guys
And if
chomping
you
at
do-
the bit coming at you.
I challenge you to a match at the Christmas party.
You heard it here first, guys.
An official challenge?
No, it's not.
I will.
I don't have any official training, so
Well, I mean, you can always get trained at the Northwest Ohio Wrestling Training Academy.
oh my gosh, how does that work? Well, tell me about that because
Well,
that is interesting.
If anybody out there, if you're listening to this, wants to pursue the dream of being a professional wrestler or be a referee or even just try to get your foot in the door out there, by all means, contact Robert L. Lopez on Facebook or find him at JJ Castile and ask him, hey, what do I got to do to become a professional wrestler and be a part of the training academy? I mean, it's given us a lot of homegrown talent, such
Absolutely.
as myself, Alex Jordan, the Natural Aces,
Right.
Alan Graves,
Johnny Carazzi.
Everest, Johnny Carassi as well. Just a lot of good young upcoming talent coming out of Northwest Ohio Wrestling, and hopefully we get some more fresh blood out there.
Absolutely.
And teach the guys the ropes of the business and get some
And
more
it's-
named out there.
It's crazy seeing you guys because I remember watching you a couple of years ago and just the progress you guys have made and grown
absolutely.
into, where I'm a fan of you guys. Like, oh my God, like I can't wait to watch some of your guys' matches and just seeing the stunts that you guys do. It's really cool seeing you guys progress.
And especially the last couple months since we've jumped on from the perspective that we are now with doing the video production side of NOW and the commentary and stuff like that. Like there was a series between Uprising 11 and Uprising 13, which we just did, watching your interference in the Fight for Fortune ladder match and then the street fight with Alex Jordan, which
Right.
was absolutely just bananas, like insane to call. Like I still, that DDT onto the exposed planks is still one of my favorite spots, like in NOW history at this
Absolutely.
point. And then now watching like with the combination of the VCW angle and stuff like that with the tag match that we just had at Uprising 13 with Abyss and JJ Castillo, like it's been really cool from us to kind of sit back and just watch how much it's grown. Like, so we did the Fight for Fortune ladder match. And we're like, how are we going to top this? oh, cool, we have a Glass City street fight next month, and it's just absolute chaos.
Right.
So, yeah. This ladder match with the Aces is going to be insane.
We're going to have our hands full covering this.
Yeah,
video.
the anniversary show is going to be one that no one wants to miss. October 14th at the Believe Center. Doors open at 6:30. Show starts at 7. Like we said, we got the Glass City Warfare match. We have the Natural Aces taking on the IndyCar Mafia in a ladder match for the NOW tag titles. And also we have Big Cassidy Keith taking on Alan Graves in a last man standing match for the Uprising title.
Is that official as well?
I've heard it through the grapevine, but I believe it's going to be official later on.
I mean, they've been building towards that. So,
and then Jonte's got to have his eyes getting his cruiserweight title back, longest reigning champion in NOW history.
Yes, he actually props to Jonte for being the longest reigning champion in NOW history, surpassing everybody on the roster. But he now has his sights going against Alex Weir. Props to Alex Weir for doing what nobody thought he would be able to do, which was to dethrone Jonte Keith.
Coming in hot, too.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
We actually had the honor of calling his first match in NOW, which was the qualifier against Alex Jordan to get into the Fight for Fortune match, and it was we saw something immediately in Alex Weir. We're like, wow, that kid's going to do something cool here. So,
he's a champ.
Yeah,
the champ's here.
If he's listening and he wants to link up with Audio Suplex Live,
you're welcome to come on the show.
And we're still talking about putting together our own little faction,
our friend group.
Yeah, our own little NOW.
I think
group.
I don't think we'll be able to agree on the same guys. I like the bad guys.
See, that's Corey and I want to do like ASL Blue and ASL Black, where it's kind of like the NWO, like NWO face team, NWO heel team. I'll have all the faces on my side, and we'll get our asses beat 24/7.
As long as we don't do no finger pokes or doom, I think we'll still be afloat here.
No promises.
Well, thanks. You just gave away the finish of the 6-way. I appreciate it.
Oh. I was going to make a
so is there anybody that we can announce as formally being in this 6-way?
Yes, all the competitors besides myself. There will be Louis Perez,
of course,
great.
The Destroyer Terrell Kenneth,
nice.
Jack Price, Alex Jordan, Dre Jacobs.
This is going to be probably
it's been nice knowing you, man.
This may be
it's been a pleasure.
This may be the best match that we'll get the chance to call.
That's insane.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
stacked.
I
feel bad for you, my friend.
I'm thoroughly looking forward to this.
I've overcame every challenge that's come to me so far. So this is just another one that I know for a fact that I will overcome.
And you've got to remember now, you've got Chris Chambers waiting in the wings. He's got the briefcase for the Fight for Fortune.
He's not in the match.
No, but I'm saying, like,
fresh as a daisy.
If he somehow escapes this through all 6 people,
and then Chambers' music hits, hello, game over.
Well, luckily for you, though, Chris Chambers has a very long entrance, so you'll have enough time to recover as he's doing the Chris Chambers dance thing, which I absolutely adore. But you'll have plenty of time to get your bearings back and get ready for whatever he should bring. So. If
you need me to take out Chambers before the match, just let me know.
I think I may have to call on some old friends over there.
Well, I'll make sure Chambers isn't an issue for you.
So let's talk about the start of this. So we were talking a little bit earlier about how you were kind of seen in this position in NOW, where it was kind of like we said off air before we went on, of like the Sami Zayn, where it's like he can get to the big picture, but he can't quite get it done when it comes to the big match. So let's talk about how the decision was made to get you over that hump, and in the same sense, kind of make you the, as I like to say on commentary, the Judas of Northwest Ohio wrestling.
Yeah, I don't mind being called the Judas. I mean, Fozzy dropped a really good song with Judas. And that's a really good track. Shout out to Fozzy.
If you want to start using that as your entrance theme, that would be...
I'd have to talk to Chris Jericho about that. I don't want to be put on the list here.
We should have that Fozzy guy on the show. Whatever, Mr. Fozzy?
Mr. Fozzy Bear.
Yeah. Fozzy Bear, that's his name. Yeah, I like that.
Waka Waka.
But to touch on the point that you were talking about earlier about, like you said, as we alluded to before the show, as me being the whole Sami Zayn thing, getting to the big dance... Like I said, it started out back when I had my very first opportunity in that Fatal 4-Way. And then it aspired 2-3 months later with a triple threat match. I couldn't get the job done there. And then a little bit later down the line, it was a 6-way where eventually the title went to Dave Christ. Mm-hmm. And then I started into my feud with Trey Miguel, who turned his back on NOW at the time.
Aligned himself with the Y4K.
Yep. And we ended up culminating our feud at the show in September, People's Choice, in a 2 out of 3 falls match, which honestly probably was one of my greatest matches I've ever had in my life. And I'm still upset that there was no documented video of that match out there. I am really upset about that.
That sucks.
Probably one of the best matches that had the greatest crowd reaction for both sides of us, and still no film out there. I am highly
Was that
upset
at
about
the Belief Center? Or was
Yes, it was
okay.
at the Belief Center. And
Well, if you guys ever want a match covered, just talk to me and Travis.
Well,
cover it.
That gives you more.
have a-
That gives you more motivation going forward, though. Now to repeat that
Top it.
quality of match. Now knowing that we have people who are out here, capturing and really kind of trying to tie together the entire product for NOW. So
yeah, and then moving forward after that, we started with Uprising.
Yes.
The very first Uprising, we had the main event ladder match was between myself, Marcus Alexander, Alan Graves, and Alex Jordan at the time. Alex Jordan ended up going over and getting the Uprising title, the very first champion.
I remember that show.
That was a proud moment for that young man. He put in a lot of time and effort and a lot of hard work for it, and he got it done. And that was a very emotional moment for all 4 of us after that match. Moving forward, I ended up, before everybody actually knew it, I actually had the longest undefeated streak in NOW history.
Really?
One of the smallest things that's got overshadowed by NOW officials. But it actually came to an end against Gavin Glass. And then little backstory to that, after the show that night, apparently I had blacked out and I woke up in the hospital.
Oh wow!
I don't know what happened, and for like a month or so I was on the shelf and I was hooked to a heart monitor, stuff like that. We're kind of questioning that my wrestling career was coming to an end early.
Right.
But I overcame that and I came back into it. Was looking forward to a earned title match for the Cruiserweight title against Eli McFly, who was the champion at the time before Jonte.
What a great name.
Oh yeah.
Eli McFly, I like that.
Hello, McFly.
Are you a little bummed that you didn't get to grab that first, or?
No, but I'm definitely going to... Does he have a shirt?
I don't know, but heel Corey works really well for you, though.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's real plain and simple. Straight to the point.
But we had that at the end of the year show called Wreck the Halls.
Yeah.
And the main event of that show was going to be Dave Chris defending the title against Crimson in a casket match.
I remember that. I remember that was supposed to happen.
But then, due to Mother Nature and her stupid weather, canceled the show, and circumstances moving forward ended up giving the Cruiserweight title match to Jonte Keith. So he ended up taking the Cruiserweight title off to him, which I have no ill will towards him. Props to the man. He took an opportunity when it came to him.
Jonte is... I cannot wait to get him and Cassidy both on the show. But they're both fantastic. But Jonte is, on another level. That guy's insane.
And then moving forward after that, picked up back with my feud with Dante, where I goaded him into putting in his guaranteed title obligation for signing with NOW in return of me signing with VCW if I lost. I ended up beating him and going on to the March 4th show after the tournament to crown a new NOW champion between the baddest man alive, Aaron Williams, and Chris Chambers. Aaron Williams ended up picking up the title, and I ended up choosing on my own volition to cash in and take the title from him, and then going on 2 weeks later to successfully defend the title against him and start my title reign.
Nice. I was actually at that show. I was at both of those shows, actually. The you winning the belt off of Aaron Williams, which has got to be the shortest title reign in NOW history at this point. What do you have the belt for? Maybe about 2 minutes?
We'll give him a cup of coffee.
A cup of coffee. Held the belt for that long, and then so now here we are. You are the cream of the crop, so to speak. The undisputed and defending at this point NOW heavyweight champion. Let me ask you this. So we have 6 people in the match here. You got Terrell Kenneth, you got Alex Jordan, you've got Louis Perez, so on and so forth. Who would you think would be your worst case scenario out of all this? Who is the one man that
Who's
not
the
to say
Samoa
that you're
Joe?
not to say that you're worried, because I sense nothing but confidence in you.
Nothing but confidence.
But who would be the kryptonite to Colt Daniels? Who would be the one man that you would say, okay, that's the one I want to keep my eyes on?
Chambers.
Really?
He's not even in the match, but he is the one I have to keep my eyes on, because you never know when he's going to strike.
Yeah.
He can turn that 6-way into a 7-way.
Yeah.
He can come out mid-match and then just change everything.
Yeah. But he's actually got his own hands full too now.
Yeah, actually, it's briefcase versus career. Jake Frost is coming for one more hurrah, hopefully, to take Chambers' briefcase away.
Wow.
And then that changes the entire complexion again.
Holy cow.
But with a little added thing with Robert Lopez being the special guest referee to that matchup. So there's going to be no funny business or anything like that that's going to fly by him. So we'll see how that happens and how that whole complexion of the night is going to be when that happens.
So yeah, I personally, if I was NOW champion, I would have my eyes on Terrell Kenneth.
Just so you know,
man is a destroyer.
you will never be NOW.
This is
champion.
also probably true.
Probably.
This is more than likely true.
More than
citywide champion, maybe. Heavyweight champion, probably never.
So you're calling out Mavis right now? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Sure, why not?
Heard it here first.
Sure,
folks.
why not? Whatever.
Book it.
Well, actually, one thing that, like, another person in that matchup that I have my eyes on, obviously, is going to be Alex Jordan, because we went through hell and back in that Glass City street fight. And, I tip my hat to Alex. Even though that was everything that we thought it would have been, we're not done.
The finish of that match, holy crap!
Oh yeah, with the was it the double
Through
the double
the
foot stomp through the
chairs,
chair erection,
3
if you will.
chairs,
Yeah.
brutal. Like
Unbelievable.
that hurt me to watch.
Yeah, filming that match, we actually. I'm going to pull back the curtain a little bit. And I'm going to embarrass myself here a little bit. I got thoroughly worked by the end of that match. After the match was over, Kalen comes to the ring, Robert comes into the ring, just to kind of like check in on everybody and stuff like that, and given your like history of like injury with like the heart thing and stuff like that, and the blacking out, my mind immediately went to like, oh shit, like we're actually like I was getting worked so effing hard.
Well, to be completely honest with you,
Brutal.
Yeah.
well, to be completely honest with you, I was actually unconscious.
Were you really?
Yeah, like I did not know what happened until I like regained consciousness, like maybe like 5-6 minutes later, like halfway through Alex Jordan's theme song. Like right when I hit the chair, I was like, okay, I don't know where I'm at, what's going on. And then all of a sudden I just feel like something just hit me and I'm like, what was that? And then going back and looking back, it's like, oh, he dropped the title on me. And I'm like, oh, okay, so that happened. I thought I was getting hit by something else. And then obviously, I'm, like you said, I'm the Judas of the company. You got security trying to help me out. I'm like, no, I don't need you guys.
Yeah.
If I'm going out of here, I'm walking on my own power.
Right.
Because, one, it's going to show that he didn't get the job done, obviously, which I know the crowd is going to definitely want to see another go at it between us. And, well, if officials and NOW management would oblige, I mean, I'm pretty sure we can do it again.
For my money and for what it's worth, I personally think that you guys have the potential, between you and Alex Jordan, have the potential to have like truly one of the best feuds that NOW may have ever seen. Like I see you guys in an NOW sense as kind of like almost like an Austin Rock. Like it could be like that level of a feud where you guys are just kind of like constantly trying to one up one another. And that's just for what my money's worth.
Well, yeah, especially that street fight you guys had was insane.
Yeah. And you guys have
definitely, you guys exceeded all expectations. The way the company's been being booked lately is literally every show is better than the one before. Mm-hmm. And every month we're like, there's no way they're going to be able to top it. And you guys blew it out of the water with that match. Like, it was very impressive. Very impressive.
And the funny thing was, like, a lot of people didn't expect, like, that whole unmasking of the ring thing. Like, I'm sitting there, like, midway through the match, I'm like, okay, how can I do this to get the crowd to be like, holy crap, what's going to happen next?
Right.
Well, you don't really see that often in like a lot of matches, especially in a street fight. So, go above and beyond, go out of your element a little bit, and let's add a little extra fun to it and see what the crowd will get going from there.
Absolutely.
Right. And there was
a great spot.
You're telling me there was a little bit of improvisation with that spot as well, because basically we're just trying to buy time with taking the cover off the ring mat and everything like that. You ended up using the bungee cord to choke out Alex Jordan.
Because what happened was somebody, whoever set up the ring, like doing the ring apron, the skirts and everything, like they got the little like lock mechanism kind of thing, whatever.
Right.
It got caught on the other skirt, and I'm trying over here to unclip it, and I'm like, okay, this isn't working. So I'm just pulling at it, and I'm like, okay, this isn't working. Screw this. I went to the other side, untook the bungee cord, hurry up, and started just working on Alex just buy time. So people were like, what are you doing? What are you doing? So I got to figure something out. And then I was like, you know what? Screw it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And then lo and behold, it ended up working. So
right. And
Yeah.
from our perspective, like we're filming it, and I'm just kind of like, wow, this is gonna. I'm not to say it would like turn out bad on film, but like that delay in getting like the mat up and stuff like that, I was thinking like, wow, how's this gonna translate to film? But I think once we edited everything together, and it, especially with that spot, you did a really fantastic job improvising and just using the bungee cord the way you did. I think that ended up translating super well, both in the match and on film as well. So,
oh yeah, I mean, like I said, sometimes you gotta call stuff on the fly and just figure something out just so you can get the original thing done, because you don't want to spend like 5-10 minutes just sitting there just dilly-dallying on one thing, and the next it's like, okay, people are losing interest. This is how you're gonna get them back into it,
right.
So it's like, either think on the fly or lose the crowd.
Right. So, and then you guys held the crowd in the palm of your hand for the entirety of that match.
yeah.
So
Definitely quality.
So one thing I did want to talk about, so going a little bit from NOW, which we'll talk about all day if necessary. Switching over gears now to the VCW tag team titles, which you actually hold with JJ Castillo, your brother. There's two things with that. One, what's it like to be a tag team champion with your brother in another promotion? Then also, one of the things that always kind of fascinates me is how in different promotions you have different storylines, and does that ever confuse any of the fans here in NOW to see like, okay, well, a lot of people argue that kayfabe is dead, but I still know people who go to shows and like actually like invest themselves in the story. So do you ever have like any situations where like, wow, you're feuding with your brother here in this promotion, but you're tag team champions with him elsewhere? Like, how does that work for you guys?
It's the thing is like people gotta look at it like it's a business. We're workers. We're our own business and stuff like that. We go to other promotions and we do what promoters want us to do. If like they tell me, oh well, hey, you're gonna team up with your brother, and you're gonna go out to the tag straps. Well, hey, that's cool with me. I really won't have no problem with it, because hey, you're giving me an opportunity to work with someone that knows me better than freaking anybody on the planet.
Right.
So we just go out there, we do our thing. Usually he teams with Chris Chambers, who trained both of us. And, they have their own thing, but so me and him put our own little spin on everything, and, we, I wouldn't say I was like an official member of the Deadly Alliance, but I would just say I was like an honorary member for the night.
Satellite member.
Yeah, satellite member, just roving in and out whenever, Chris can't make it and they need a tag team, and we just go from there. So it's pretty cool. I mean, because the funny thing was, when VCW opened up, back in 2015, their very first show in July, and Dante showed me and my brother the VCW tag titles, we both just like stared there and looked at him. We were like, could this be us one day?
You got
Yep,
it over here.
I got it right here, actually.
Take a look at it real quick. It's a good looking belt. I like the color scheme on it.
Oh yeah, I mean, and it's a pretty good piece of hardware, I'll tell you that much.
It's sharp. I know that much.
Probably one of the coolest things out there.
Second time we've seen that belt in the studio.
That's right.
Yeah,
the Natural Aces had it.
Had it in here when the Aces were the VCW Tag Team Champions. So it's all right. They're gonna have some.
Did he show off the belt to the camera?
The NOW
heavyweight
belt?
championship
Yeah,
one?
sure we did here.
Show off the NOW title as well.
There it is.
Got to make sure I give this thing love too.
That's right.
It's a good looking belt. I like that one.
I like that one a lot too.
Yeah. So I was actually going to ask you, do you and Robert actually have like a tag team name for your guys', or do you guys just kind of like play off of like the Deadly Alliance name?
Just play off the Deadly Alliance, because I mean, I've had some other like tag team names out there that I've wanted to use, but it's kind of a little close to things that's already been done. I mean, like I've had ones called like the Renegades, but I think there's something out there called the Renegades, so I'm not going to tread on that water. The Fallen, but then you think about it, Ring of Honor, the Age of the Fall, Jimmy Jacobs and Tyler Black.
Yeah.
Freaking phenomenal tag team. I love those guys.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's hard to come up with names for wrestling stuff because there's so much stuff
Everything's already taken. That was we ran into that when we were
naming our show.
When Corey and I first decided to do the podcast, we were trying to come up with names, and I remember him and I texting each other back and forth for what felt like 5 hours. Just trying to come up with names or whatever. And
this is a good one. Oh, never mind.
It's all right. Yeah, so you would come up with a name, and then you would Google it to see if it was already taken, and then I swear to God, every wrestling podcast name is taken. So much as I'm sure, like tag team names and
even your
name.
It's probably hard to come up with.
Have we come across any other Colt Daniels in the independent wrestling scene?
Thank goodness, no. But the funny thing is, actually, people don't really actually understand the origin of why I got my name.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of curious.
He's a big Colts fan.
Well, that too, but that's actually not the reason.
And your name is Daniel.
That's actually not the reason. Actually,
Okay.
Here's actually a good little tidbit into the personal life here. my brother has a beautiful wife and my sister-in-law. They said that when they have their very first kid, if it's a son, his name is going to be Colt Daniel. And I'm over here like, Colt Daniel.
Colt Daniel.
I can think of a name off this. And then my brother's like, Colt Daniels. And I was like,
Colt Daniels.
Let's run it. And that's where it sprouted off. It basically paying an homage to my firstborn nephew when he comes.
Wow. So you're like already like paying tribute
So
to your
really,
nephew who's
so really, it's gonna sound like your nephew's named after you
you.
wrestling.
Essentially, however you want to look at it, but I always am going to look at it at like how I see it is like I'm paying a tribute to my firstborn nephew when he comes. And what a better way to do that is by building a legacy for myself. So, you know, if he wants to follow in his footsteps of his uncle and his father, maybe he can take over that name or spin off somewhere where he can use it in his own terms
Really?
down the line.
That's awesome, actually. I really like that. That's super cool. Do you know how... Now, I got to ask, because I actually have a brother named Colton.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how they're going to spell it? Is it T-O-N or T-E-N? Because I've seen them both.
Probably T-E-N.
T-E-N? Okay, see, my brother's C-O-L-T-O-N. So, there you go. Little interesting tidbit.
WTOL, is that what you said?
Yeah, W-T-O-L. Yep, that's exactly what I said, Corey. So, Corey, I know...
I have a question.
Corey's got the Corey question.
Who's your all-time favorite wrestler?
All-time favorite. I'm actually going to go left field on here. One of my favorites was Lash LaRue.
Really?
My all-time favorite was Lash LaRue.
Lash LaRue.
Never
Yes.
had anyone say Lash LaRue on
Well,
this
because
show.
you think about it, in the cruiserweights back in WCW, him, the artist Prince Iakea,
The artist formerly known as Prince Iakea with Paisley.
who
Oh my
was
gosh.
Charmel,
Yes.
the wife of King Booker,
Buka.
and then also with Chris Kanyon as well. Like the cruiserweights in WCW were like
Who better?
who better than Kanyon? No one.
Nobody.
But you think about it, like back in with WCW when they had the cruiserweights and stuff like that, and yeah, you had the WWF with the light heavyweights. Honestly, the cruiserweights outshine the light heavyweights.
Absolutely.
In every form of doubt.
They were showcased better.
There used to be a popular saying amongst wrestling fans during the Monday Night Wars where you would watch WCW for the undercard and then watch the main event scene on WWF because WCW, their undercard really outshined the main event scene because the main
A
event
lot
scene,
of those guys became the upper card of WWE.
Yeah.
Eventually.
well, because your main event scene in WCW, no offense to any of the guys there, but they were like your Hulk Hogan's and your Macho Man's and your Ric Flair's, and like at the time, like they were all really starting to kind of like get over the hill, and like it was kind of old news at that point. But your undercard in WCW, you had the cruiserweights, especially like that early iteration with like
Chris Jericho.
Juventud Guerrero, Dean Malenko, who I've been on a huge kick of lately. Jushin Thunder Liger was there for a little bit. Ultimo Dragon, Kidman, Rey Mysterio when
Eddie
he was
Guerrero.
junior, and Eddie Guerrero. But then you also had the TV title picture, which had your DDPs, your Booker T's, your Ravens, your this, that, and the other guy. Like it was the undercard of WCW was so fantastic during that period of time. But their main event scene was just. And on the flip side of that, WWF's undercard was really not that good during the late 90s. Like, but the main event scene, you had your Stone Colds, your Rocks, your Mankind's, your Triple H's, like
Taker, Kane, Big Show.
Yeah.
You had all these guys that like were the mainstay of the World Wrestling Federation at the time. And I think one of the things that actually killed WCW was that night where they announced that Mick Foley was going to win the WWF title. And then next you know, well, he's one of those guys that you really wanted to see winning it. So that everybody just drew a buzz. So you basically just like shot yourself in the foot, and everybody just jumped over to Monday Night Raw and saw it happen, and it's like, holy crap, this was a lot better than what we just saw. And it's like,
don't ever tweet at Tony Schiavone about that though, because he will block you immediately.
Did he block you?
No, he didn't block me. I would never have the audacity to tweet that at him. I'm a big Tony Schiavone guy.
I don't know. I think you might have that. Just that one time you want to be able to be like, I just want to see if I can do it.
No. I would never I would never want Tony Schiavone to block me.
Are
on
you
Twitter.
blocked by any celebrities?
Oh my god, I'm sure I am. I don't know.
See, I've tried before.
Yeah.
I tried to get blocked by Rainn Wilson because I hate him.
What, you hate Rainn Wilson?
I like him as Dwight on The Office, but for everything else and his real life, like go to his Twitter, he's a dick to people.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, not all the time, but it's like, man, you're not even that funny. Like you're good as Dwight, and that's what you're good at. That's it.
That's a shame.
so I don't like him.
Yeah, you could start start.
Do you want to come on the show, Rainn Wilson? We'll gladly have you on the show.
Start on
If you're a wrestling
easy
fan.
mode and try to get back by JBL. Like, come on, that's easy.
Just pester him about the Mauro Ranallo situation. There you go.
Yeah, or just imply that his commentary sucks, or say something about King Ross,
Or that he likes muscly women.
Yes, allegedly.
It's not alleged. There's evidence.
Oh man, so yeah, so Lash LaRue.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting. It's never a big Lash LaRue guy.
Like, the funny thing is, like I said, like, you got a lot of people out there that says, like, Bret Hart,
Yeah.
The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Jeff Hardy.
We get a
stuff
lot
like
of
that.
Shawn Michaels.
Shawn Michaels is a big one.
That's another one. Or
think-
Triple H.
Yeah.
You also think about it as well. You got.
I think your brother said Triple H.
Kurt Angle.
No one. You're the only one that says Kurt Angle.
Chambers said Dusty Rhodes, which immediately
Duh.
made me more enamored with Chris Chambers than I already was.
Who doesn't love the American Dream?
Oh my god, it's the greatest of all time.
But it's like, you think about it, like, you have everybody who, like, talks about that guy that stuck out to him the most, that got him that initial hook to it.
Right.
Well, the thing was with me is, like, I love the guys who do all the flips, the fun high flying dives, and all that fun stuff. So I was like, sitting there just one day watching WCW with my grandpa, who actually got me into wrestling at the time. We're just sitting there watching Monday Night Nitro, and then just seeing, like, the cruiserweights, like Lash LaRue going up. I think it was against the Disco Inferno at the time.
Yes.
Yeah, he went up against the Disco Inferno, which, I'll be honest with you, I was a huge Disco Inferno
I
fan.
love Disco.
I always did the Disco Inferno dance for no apparent reason. Whenever I heard his theme song, I did it with him for some reason. I don't know
still
why.
do his dance. And I don't even like WCW.
See, I've been known to bust out the Alex Wright dance every once in a that
The originator.
You should bust that out more.
Das Wunderkind.
Wunderbar.
He will lead you to victory.
Victory?
Have you ever seen that?
Is it WCW?
Back in the WCW,
Yeah, no, I never
back in
saw
the
that.
days of the WCW PlayStation games, I think it was Thunder.
Oh, that one was bad.
At your character selection
That
screen,
was.
at your character selection screen, you would hover over the wrestler that you wanted to pick, and then they would cut a short little 15-second promo about why you should or should not pick them. Kevin Nash's were always great because he would be like,
Don't pick me.
Don't pick me. Pick Diamond Dallas Page or Hogan or Hall or something like this. Don't pick me. Whatever. I'm busy. So, but you would pick Alex Wright, and he would say something to the effect of "It's me, the German Alex Wright. Pick me, and I will lead you to victory." It's fantastic. So good.
We should get that sound drop.
Yeah, well, we're going to.
That'd
As soon
be
as this
great.
episode's off the air, we're going to grab the victory sound drop.
That'd be great.
Yeah, I was a big Ultimo Dragon. I was enamored with the WCW cruiserweights. They were my favorite part of the show.
But one of the another things that also enamored me with WCW was a tag team by the Mamalukes.
Yes.
They had honestly one of the best theme songs.
Oh my
And
god.
the fact that it's not released out there today is atrocity.
Don't hold your breath though, because they've been releasing a lot of unreleased stuff before on iTunes and stuff like that recently. They've just put Ultimo Dragon's WWE theme on there, and that's one of my favorites. Love
Yeah,
it.
but it's just because that's one of those theme songs. One of my favorite go-to pay-per-views with WCW was probably one of the not the ones everybody would think would be Super Brawl 2000
Good show.
when the Mamalukes took on David Flair and Crowbar in that Sicilian stretcher match.
God, yes.
That match was something, but to be completely honest with you, I don't really watch it for the match. I listen to it for Disco on commentary because he's hilarious, and then for the theme song as well. But
Yeah.
the match I watch the most is Lash LaRue versus Prince Iaukea.
That's so good. I love that. Corey
That may be the best answer we've ever had.
is staunchly anti WCW, to a fault almost.
Woman Crush Wednesday?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
So whenever we do our we do certain episodes, if you guys have been listening for a while, we do retro pay-per-views. Part of the ongoing thing is that I like to make Corey review old WCW pay-per-views.
And then what I like to do is pick good pay-per-views for us
Oh
to
yes,
watch.
Money in the Bank 2010, an instant
I
classic.
thought it was a different Money in the Bank.
Oh yes, who could forget the
Picked the wrong year.
amazing steel cage match between John Cena and Sheamus? Really putting the butts in the seats there. Shouts out to Tony Schiavone. So, sorry man, I'll take Tony Schiavone and Mike Tenay and Bobby the Brain Heenan over most commentary teams any day. That was the voice of my
Tom
childhood.
Phillips, Corey Graves.
That was a good commentary team too.
And who else could we throw in there to make a good? And Mauro Ranallo. There we go. Dream
That's almost
team.
too good. That's too many good
No.
pieces.
Yeah, I
honestly.
guess Tom Phillips and Mauro Ranallo together.
Now, I actually have one that was my what would be my dream commentary
3
team?
JBLs.
Byron Saxton, Percy Watson, and
David Otunga.
No, you just killed. I'm watch the show on mute. I'm
It's
doing
like
that.
X-Pac heat right there. As soon as that commentary team comes out, just this show's dead.
The 3 people I would love to see on commentary, I would like to have Corey Graves, Nigel McGuinness, and I hope that he'd come back for one time, Steve Corino.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
I would like that, actually.
I enjoy Steve Corino, especially like when I was watching Ring of Honor, when Adam Cole would come out and Adam Cole would do the whole Adam Cole baby thing. He would jump on the mic and go, "You heard the crowd, Adam Cole baby," and I'm like, you just popped yourself, and I enjoy it.
That's fantastic.
Like,
Steve Corino's a blessing.
Oh yeah, Steve Corino is probably like another one of those guys I actually like because like he's the king of old school.
Yeah.
One of the best matches I seen him wrestle was against Kevin Steen at the Hammerstein Ballroom, when Kevin Steen got himself kicked out of Ring of Honor with his career versus mask match against El Generico, which I still think there's still some reports out there that Sami Zayn is El Generico.
No, I don't buy it.
Neither do I. But
I don't buy it.
First of all,
the dirt sheets are saying that.
why would Sami Zayn be a luchador? He's Canadian and he's a redhead.
Yeah, it's weird.
I know.
That
But
doesn't. I don't get the connection there.
And also, how dare you sully the name of El Generico? That man died trying to save orphans.
well, from what I heard,
Can
he's
you
still in
blame him?
Mexico somewhere with those orphans.
I'll say, man.
He saved them. He got them home to Mexico.
Currently trying to track down Sexy Star so that he can extract some good old revenge on her. Bust her arm up. Not that I would wish that upon anybody.
Generico, the hero
That we deserve.
that we need, not the one we deserve. We need him.
Oh, man. So, yeah, Lash LaRue, man. That's crazy. I'm still kind of on that. That's insane. I've never, because usually when people say they're going to throw us like a curveball here,
They're
or
like
go out and
Mankind.
yeah,
I'm
like,
oh, that's not
really
crazy.
a curveball. But Lash LaRue, that's good, man.
Yeah.
Who were some of your other favorite WCW cruiserweights? Because now I'm just kind of enamored with this idea.
Well, like I said, Lash LaRue, Prince Iaukea, Chris Kanyon.
Who better?
Yeah, who better than Chris Kanyon?
Glacier. who just did a show with was it ROH or something like that?
Yeah.
He did like a surprise appearance on an ROH show and the
As
crowd
Glacier?
as Glacier.
Oh, God.
And the crowd went absolutely bananas. So sick.
See, that is kind of cool.
He's still doing the gimmick, man. I absolutely love it. It's so good.
But back on the topic, Chris Jericho,
Of course. The man of 1,004 holds.
Dean Malenko,
Yep.
Rey Mysterio.
Yep.
Him and Eddie Guerrero at Halloween Havoc tore the house down.
You're bearing the lead here. La Parka.
La Parka.
La Parka.
There's
was
no way
getting
he was a
there.
cruiserweight.
The chairman.
I was getting
The
there.
chairman of the Luchadors, man. Oh my God, dude. There was nobody better in late 90s
I love the name the chairman
WCW
because he uses
than
a
La
chair.
Parka. Oh my God, so good. So
I liked La Parka in the WCW versus NWO Revenge game because he came out with a chair.
Yeah.
So you started the match
With
a
a
chair.
weapon.
Yeah. So I was like, I'm gonna be La Parka. So then I have the chair.
you weren't ever AKI man?
No, he was the
Oh
worst.
God! What came up with that? What came up?
That's
with that
why they
idea?
have Suicide in TNA because they added him in the video game. He wasn't a real person. They're like, let's just add this fake guy in, and then leading up to the release of the game, they're like, we should make someone look like.
We didn't even really give a proper introduction to Joe this week, which I feel like a heel for, but we never really do. Like I feel bad. Joe's the hardest working man.
Is it because I'm here?
No, it's not because you're here. It's just like Corey and I are really terrible co-hosts, and we very seldom give props to Joe as we should. But Joe, we should really look into legality of streaming us playing a video game over on the show one day, because I would like to do an entire
I'll
episode
whoop your ass in
where we just
everything.
do WC or WWF No Mercy or
I have
I'm
them all.
down.
so.
I'm down.
Yeah.
Well, people do Twitch streams all the time.
Yeah, you should be able to.
Yeah.
If you guys would like to see us do an entire episode where me, Colt Daniels, Corey, and we'll just get Ajax in here too, because I'm sure he would love to be part of this. Get an N64 hooked up, and we play No Mercy for the entirety of the episode and just talk shit to
And
each
I
other.
Whoop your ass up and down the ring.
Get at us on Facebook. Send us a message. Send us a comment on Facebook, and let us know that you want to see that, because I feel like
Well,
that would
if
be
no one messages, I think we should just do it.
do it
Film
anyway.
it.
Yeah. I was about to say, does anybody know about the hidden glitch in No Mercy? Actually,
Yeah, I do. You get on the announce table and you do like a taunt, and it pulls you out, and then you're in the audience, and you can run around anywhere.
yep.
Yeah, I know exactly. what you're talking about.
Basically
That's my
untouchable.
Evenly matched. I like this.
Well,
what
no.
happens when the immovable object meets the unstoppable force?
favorite. I'll win.
Ooh.
I own 3 copies of that game, one of which is sealed.
Willing to put that belt on the line for
Yeah,
No Mercy?
I will fight you for that belt.
You know what? I got a better idea. How about this? We get a custom ASL gaming championship, and we have a tournament for it. I like that idea.
Well, we have 1,000 belts right over there.
We have Team ASL versus Team NOW. Can have like a little bit of like a bracket, like one ASL NOW match per game.
I like that. I'm sure JJ Castillo would be interested. He's in the playing Madden.
We have an NOW bracket on this side and an ASL bracket on this side with people from Team ASL, Team NOW, like an 8-man tournament. And then the winner of the NOW bracket versus the winner of the ASL bracket in the finals.
I think all of the qualifying matches should be NOW versus ASL.
Well, let's think about it. Let's who's
interested?
Who are the best gamers on the NOW roster now that we're thinking about it?
Whew, I mean,
I know Robert's a big Madden guy.
yeah, he's a huge Madden guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we're all equally talented, unless we go into UFC. Then freaking Alex is like God.
Yeah.
The UFC video game?
Yes.
I like playing it, but I'm not good at it.
No, he's good.
If I can't-
He's God. He will literally either PS4 or Xbox. He'll jump online and just run people.
That's insane.
Like literally, his fastest fight was like 20 seconds. Yeah,
I believe it.
he wrecked someone in 20 seconds. I'm over here. I didn't even finish my slice of pizza, and he's over here just like next, and I'm like, "Hey, Rob, you want to get on this?"
What's your game that you've had to say like this is like I will whoop any taker in?
We got some people saying that they're going to do it. Dre Jacobs.
Dre said he's in.
Yeah.
Let's run it.
Shout out to Dre. Hey,
Kalen.
man, how you doing?
Kalen's in.
Yep.
Let's run it.
Robert
The voice of
Lopez.
NOW.
Do we have that many people on our on ASL side of things? So me.
Me, you, Ajax. Geez, turn the volume down, homie.
Sorry, dude.
Good friend might be interested.
Good friend.
We got a whole bunch of ex-GameStop employees, current GameStop employees.
Ajax would probably be down.
Yeah.
Me, Joe would probably be down. I'm sure.
Yeah, I've only played 2017.
Everybody needs a first round bye anyway. So just
Yeah.
sorry, Joe.
Sorry, Joe.
This is the first round
Well,
elimination.
2K18 comes out in a month.
You want to do it on 2K?
Well, I mean, I'm just saying we could mix it up. Like you could do an old school game, then one of the newer games, an old school game.
We're gonna need a lot of systems. We're gonna need a lot of controllers.
This is going to be a huge
I have it
endeavor.
all, so
This
This
is gonna be
is okay. I like this. Let's go. Team ASL versus
But-
NOW.
we'll figure it out.
If we're gonna talk about a game that I know I'm untouchable at, it's gonna sound really odd, and I know I'm probably gonna get a lot of people like, "You play that?" It's Pokemon Puzzle League on the Nintendo 64.
Why did that pop me so hard? I love
We're not
that
doing
was
that
like,
as part of the tournament.
Because the thing is,
when Colt says like left field, he genuinely means like left field.
You'll never
I love
guess.
it.
it's who I am. You
I was
know?
going to say bubble bobble. Like,
No.
is that where we're going?
No. Reason why I do like Pokemon Puzzle League is because there's an actual world record out there for the fastest time completing the game on every level, and every time I've speed challenged it, I've always lost to it by 0.7 seconds every time, and I'm like, I will beat this record. I will get in the Guinness Book of World Records. I will do this.
Because you're so close.
I think Dre Jacobs wins with the esoteric game mention of the day. He goes 007 Nightfire, which I know one person who's played.
I know I've played Nightfire.
Have you played
Oh,
Nightfire?
yeah.
I mean,
Nightfire. I mean, GoldenEye obviously is the one that you played the most. Have you played that lately? Because that did not age well
It
at
does not.
all.
No, I played it probably
The
like
controls
I
are
wanna say-
so hard because you're used to the 2 joysticks now. 'cause
Right,
They've been
right.
doing that for almost 20 years. With the one joystick, it's
And
just
the C
so-
buttons, oh my God,
yeah,
it's
so
unbearable.
difficult.
Yeah. There was a mod, I think, a couple years ago for an emulator that I may or may not have had on my computer.
Well, I have an emulator on mine, and even with the joystick, it's still
Doesn't control that
garbage.
Now,
Yeah.
a lot of the games that you think, like, even with the controller, if you're doing an emulation, it does not sync up well. And it's like,
How did I play this for
like
50 hours
Yeah.
a day?
you're like a deer in a headlight.
Yeah, dude. Back in the day, in the heyday of GoldenEye, like I would have taken anybody, any takers. Like,
Oh, yeah.
and it was
No,
competitive.
I was bad.
Yeah, but nowadays I couldn't touch that game if I wanted to. It's
Many
See-
many summer nights with GoldenEye.
Robert Lopez says Mario Party 8. I hate to break it to you, Mr. Lopez, but Mario Party games are not really competitive. They just give out.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hold on,
The
bro.
mini games
Anyone
are
can
competitive,
win.
but they give out stars for the most like you know,
You can luck into a star pretty easily, too.
Arbitrary reasons, like, hey, you're wearing a green shirt, here's a star.
Well, actually, no. The new ones, they actually turned off those features to where it's strictly you just have to win minigames.
What?
Yes.
Unreal.
And that's because people were like, oh, well, it's getting too easy, and stuff like that. So
Game changer.
It is. And the last one we played, it was me, Robert, his wife, and Chambers was playing, and Chambers picked Wario. And here's the funniest thing about that story. Chambers is getting destroyed the entire time. And in the last 3 turns, he comes back and wins. I'm like,
Well, yeah, then also at the end,
crap.
At the end of the game, yeah, they give you bonus stars. Like, oh, you.
That's what I'm saying. Like arbitrary reasons, like, oh, you're wearing sunglasses
what?
inside. Here's a star.
No, not even that. Like, he'd hit, like, all, like, the little mini games with the stipulation at the end. Like, it would spin.
all of their coins.
It would spin. It's like either all coins or all their stars. And I'm like, this is bull crap. Like, he took all of mine. He took all of Robert's. He took all of
I love
Natasha's.
it.
And I'm over here like,
What the hell?
what? This
What
is
the
bull.
hell?
Although there is a Nintendo game I think we all get behind.
What's that?
Super Mario Strikers.
Oh yeah,
Ooh,
that is the
down with that.
okay. So that's the game
Is
where
that soccer?
yeah, that's the game where if I were to say put up or shut up, like I will put money on myself in that game. There used to be a friend of the show, Nick Anderson, and then
Never heard of him.
another
Smells
friend
like
of
a Joe
ours,
Schmo.
another friend of ours who I haven't talked to in a while, Chris Brewer. We used to have a notebook at my house, and we would keep tracks of win-loss records in Mario Strikers, and like the three of us were pretty evenly matched in that game. But I will literally hold my own in Mario Strikers.
Are we gonna get Nick on our team?
So that here's what I think we're gonna do. I think we're gonna do a tournament. We'll flip a coin at the beginning of each match, and the winner of the coin flip will determine what game they're gonna play against their
like
opponent.
that.
So that we have a variety of games. It doesn't have to just be wrestling games. It could be. Do you want to do it? Do you want to do wrestling games? Just wrestling games? I feel like that's more of our speed.
I think the
I think
first
we got to go
time.
BYOS here. Bring your own system here, so we can have that. Hey, got to be diverse with this.
I have a lot of wrestling games. I have a
Yeah.
lot of wrestling games.
You've got an unopened copy of No Mercy.
and 2 opened copies of No Mercy.
Why do you
Don't sell that unopened one. Keep that. That's
I-
gonna be worth money.
Yeah.
I know, that's why I bought it.
Def Jam Fight for New York? That would be a good one. I like that. Def Jam Vendetta.
Yeah,
was
okay, any fighting game.
Yeah,
it doesn't
fighting
necessarily have to be wrestling. I think Def Jam would be a great.
Get down to Mortal Kombat.
UFC might
Injustice.
be a bit.
Yeah, Injustice would be fun too.
I will beat anybody at Skate as well. EA Skate.
Ooh, I used to be good.
Okay,
at
now
skate.
you're barking up the wrong tree there. You can ask Robert. You can ask anybody. I was the king of Tony Hawk.
See, that's different though.
That
Tony
is
Hawk
different.
and or Skate.
Skate is
It's different controls.
different-
You're using the
different
joysticks
animal.
to do all your moves on the joysticks. It's
who knew going into this episode today that we were going to
finished
get
by
down
video
the
games.
ass.
We should
down
do a
this.
gaming episode.
Dude, this is actually, I'm not going to lie to you, man. To date, this has been one of my favorite episodes because it's just been like one of the most free flowing. Just
We didn't plan.
nothing like written. I had questions I knew we were going to ask you and talk about and stuff like that. But like, Dre Jacobs, anytime, man. Throw down.
Let's do it.
He's saying he wants
Team
to challenge me at
Let's,
Skate. Let's
Team
do it.
NOW versus ASL.
Let's do it, man.
Let's do it. So we get like 6-on-6, 8-on-8.
This is like a struggle version of like up, down, down. It's like the Walmart up, down, down.
Hey.
Great value.
Walmart
We don't even have to
here.
film this.
The Walmart guy here.
Yeah, we're not even going to film this. This is just going to be for
Maybe
fun.
the finals. We'll film the final.
Yeah, we'll get something together. Maybe we'll bring a TV to the next NOW show and kind of set up like a little.
Speaking
thing
of
to the side.
TVs, tomorrow night, Beer Stew.
Yes.
8 o'clock, 8 to 11. We're watching Monday Night Raw with the ASL crew.
Yes. So if you are listening to this and you are in the Toledo area and you want to come hang out with me and Corey and have a couple of brews and
Mention right now that you heard me say, if you mention the advertisement that I'm talking about right now, I will buy you a Labatt Blue.
what?
Yeah.
For $2?
Yeah, it's only $2, but I will
I'm collecting
fork
on that.
out the $2. You don't count.
I'm collecting on that tomorrow.
You don't
co-host.
count.
I mean, that counts.
Anyone watching, if you mention this part right here, specifically say, hey, you said you'd buy me a Labatt Blue, I will, unless 50 people do it. But
Yeah, that's a little absurd. $100.
no, you know what? I'll do it. If 50 people ask me, you only get one.
Yeah.
But if
Everybody gets
50
one.
people show up, that's great.
50 people get one Labatt Blue each.
Everybody gets one.
Everybody gets one.
I just got to buy 2 cases of Labatt and I'm done.
So yeah, but if you guys are checking this out, make sure you guys are there tomorrow night. We really want a huge
Please.
turnout so that we can do this.
We want to do it every week.
Yeah,
or at least maybe once a month.
You
Maybe
know.
before every. I don't know.
there are a lot of people that come up to me and say that there are not cool things that happen in Toledo, and I have two things for them right now. You can come to Beer Stube on Monday night and watch Raw with me and Corey.
What about
and some
Tuesdays?
of our friends?
What about Wednesdays?
Tuesdays, you can also check out Corey, who also hosts trivia and named that tune at
On
the
Wednesdays,
Beer Stube
I
Bar and Grill.
My full-time job is host.
Yes. So, you guys can also
Sunday,
check out
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Robert Lopez is going to come out and hang out, so you guys can meet some NOW wrestlers.
Absolutely.
And
Hope
superstars and stuff like that
we'll have
tomorrow
some
night.
wrestlers. Dude, you guys should come out and bring your belts if you're able to come.
I mean, if you want, I can even just take the belt.
I could take the belt.
to
We're inviting
night.
all NOW champions and VCW champions to come out. Bring
all
your
champions. If you're a champion of any capacity,
belt. Bring out your belt. If you got even if you bought your own, like we got over there, or buy our own belts.
I'm gonna come in. I'm gonna come in looking like Ultimo Dragon with all of those MFers hanging off me tomorrow, dude. It's gonna be insane. It's gonna look like a Bjork music video. Just belts.
We're doing
dangling
wrestling
all
trivia
over the place.
too. So
Yes.
check that out. This has been a long show. I think
Alex
we should
Jordan's,
get to
Alex Jordan's coming tomorrow. It's gonna be a good time, man.
Alex Jordan's coming. Yeah. Oh my god.
Make sure you guys are out there tomorrow night. But another fun thing that you guys can do in Toledo, Northwest Ohio Wrestling. We are on the map, baby. October 14th at the Belize Center in South Toledo on, was it Aurora Gonzalez Drive?
Yep, the 1L Aurora Gonzalez Drive.
The anniversary show, huge stuff going on. We got you defending the NOW title in a Glass City
Warfare match.
match with 6 other men.
Yes.
5 other.
5 other men.
Yep. Well, 6, pending if Chambers is lurking in the shadows.
Depending
somewhere.
what he's up to that night. And then you have the NOW tag team titles being defended. IndyCar
ladder
Mafia
match.
defending against the Natural Aces in a ladder match. I've only said this line 8,000 times in the last month. So
And we kind of do overshadow the fact that the last man standing match between Cassidy Keith and Alan Graves is on the card as well.
We got 6 p.m. bell time for
ton
that.
of
So make
matches.
sure you guys are in full effect coming out to NOW's anniversary show coming up October 14th. We will be there. It is going to be... This is going to be the show.
Bananas.
We always say that, like, this is going to be the show you do not want to miss. This is going to be the show you do not want to miss. There's no hyperbole in that whatsoever. So, no offense, Colt. I hope you get your teeth kicked in, but, you know.
I got people lining up the door for it, so I welcome it.
At least 5.
Maybe more.
6.
Who knows?
So,
Well,
Colt,
did turn my back on the company, so I don't know.
is there anything else that we want to plug for yourself before we get out of here?
Goodbye.
Just letting you guys know that, like we said, October 14th for the anniversary show for Northwest Ohio Wrestling. The biggest matches on the card so far, 3 title matches confirmed. Alan Graves defended the Uprising title against Cassidy Keith in the last man standing match. Myself, I'll be defending the NOW title against Dre Jacobs, Terrell Kenneth, Jack Price, Louis Perez, and the notorious Alex Jordan in a Glass City Warfare match.
Man.
And in the main event, we got the Natural Aces trying to climb that ladder to success for gold against the IndyCar Mafia in a ladder match.
You guys are not going to want to miss that. So,
No. Stacked.
Corey, what are we doing next week?
Next week is our No Mercy
No Mercy.
No
Show
Mercy
them No Mercy.
pre-show.
How creepy are those commercials with Alexa Bliss?
They're creepy.
They're really weird.
I feel like this card next week is going to be very
And
very easy to predict the winners.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh, one thing about that. I don't know if anybody's heard about this, but there was a guy who made $47,000 off the betting on
SummerSlam
cards.
Yes.
People are thinking about taking WWE off the betting pools because of that, because people are so
He
easily
made
making money.
$47,000.
Yes.
just imagine how you would do, Corey.
I would win. I mean, I'm the longest reigning champion in our league currently with the new belt.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
Are you bringing that tomorrow?
Yeah, I probably will.
Tight. I like it.
Tomorrow?
He's got his own custom side plates and
yeah, it says
everything.
heel
We'll show
Corey
you a
on
picture
it.
of it. It's good.
Hey, that's not a problem.
Yeah. So next week we have our WWE No Mercy preview special. It'll be an hour and a half of us talking about how much we love Braun Strowman. Make sure you guys tune into that. I'm sure a colorful cast of characters will be joining us, a cavalcade, if you will, including the pre-show stopper. Sean McMahon will probably swing through, and we'll see who else
See
we
if
can
we get a
get
special guest next week.
Yeah, we'll see if we can reach into the archives. Now that we have to build up Team ASL for this inevitable game tournament that we're going to be
We're
doing.
going to be talking smack next week.
Oh, yeah. If you are a fan of video games and shit talk, tune in next week. So we will be providing those in spades. Without any further ado, you guys can check us out on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and everywhere you guys need to at Audio Suplex Live. You guys can follow Northwest Ohio Wrestling on Twitter and Facebook at 419 Wrestling, and on Instagram as well. We've got a lot of cool stuff coming up between the two of us, and so without any further ado, we will see you guys next week.
Hey, this is Joe, producer of Audio Suplex Live. We'd like to give a shout out to the band Wax for intro and outro music. Make sure you check them out at the link below.
You've been listening to the Nerd Complex Podcast Network.